everyone and welcome back to the World Dance Series. In the last video we talked about the rise of classical ballet in Russia and analyzed the classic ballet Swan Lake. When it comes to the spread of Russian ballet and its influence in the ballet world, the man who has to be mentioned is Sergei Diaghilev. However, what a surprise when we found he is neither a dancer nor a choreographer. How did such an ordinary man change the history of ballet? How did he build a great ballet company and bring a number of Russian dancers to the world? Let's get into the legendary life of this arts manager. His experience can be a case study, how an art manager opened global market by using capital and platform. Sergei Diaghilev was born into a wealthy family in Russia. His father, Pavel Pavlovich, is a cavalry colonel whose income mainly comes from a vodka factory. After his mother died, his father married a young artist. In 1890, his parents went bankrupt, and from then on, Sergei Diaghilev had to support himself. He went to the capital city and studied law at St. Petersburg University, but eventually went to the St. Petersburg Conservatory of Music to study vocal music. After graduating in 1892, he gave up his dream of composing music. During college, Diaghilev's cousin introduced him to a group of friends, including Alexander Benoist, Walter Nouvel, Konstantin Samovin, Leon Bax. Diaghilev began to increase the understanding of Russian and Western fine art. With the financial support of Sava Mamontov, director of the Russian private opera company, and Princess Maria, the organization founded the magazine Mir Iskusstva Art World. Diaghilev was responsible for the production of the 1900 Imperial Theatre yearbook and immediately assigned his close friends the task. Leon Bax will design the costume for a French drama Le Coeur de la Marquise, while Benoist was given the chance to produce Tenayev's opera Revenge of Cupid. Between 1900 and 1901, Diaghilev was the producer of Ballet Sylvia choreographed by Leo Delibes and was fired in 1901 after a growing number of confrontations. In 1905, he held a large exhibition of Russian portraits at the Torrid Palace in St. Petersburg and traveled around Russia for a year to discover many unknown masterpieces of Russian portrait art. The following year, he held a large exhibition of Russian art at a small palace in Paris. In 1907, he performed 5 Russian concerts in Paris and in 1908 at the Paris Opera. The following year, the Paris Opera invited him to return with ballet and opera. Thus, his career as an art manager in France has begun. 1909 to 1929, the famous ballet company Ballet Russes had a brilliant 20 years and emerged outstanding choreographers and actors who worked for that company and later take off their ballet career all over the world, such as Anna Pavlova, Adolf Bohm, Vaslav Nijinsky, Tamara Karsavina and Vera Kerali. During these years, Diaghilev's dance company employs many well-known composers, musicians, symphony conductors, and dance choreographers including Nikolai Rimsky, Korsakov Chepning, Narcisse Adeko, Claude Debussy, Maurice Ravel, Manuel de Falla et al. And his choreographer, Michel Fokine, who recognized as the pioneer of modern ballet. The artistic director of the ballet company is Leon Bax. They developed a more comprehensive ballet form designed to the general public rather than just the aristocracy. The exoticism of the Russian ballet impacted the Fauvism painting and the new Art Deco style. Coco Chanel once said that Diaghilev created Russia for foreigners. The most famous collaborating composer is Igor Stravinsky. In 1910, Stravinsky wrote his first song, Firebird. This was followed by Petrushka, 1911, and The Rite of Spring, 1913. Diaghilev also invited famous artist Picasso to design the costumes and sets. The partners of Diaghilev's Ballet Russes later founded ballet companies in the United States, George Balanchine, the United Kingdom, Ninette de Valois and Marie Lambert, and joined in the company in France, Serge Lafar and Rudolph Nureyev Paris Opera Ballet. In 1925, Russes Page founded her own ballet company in Chicago. Among the many artists, we will introduce 2 ballet masters. One is Vaslav Nijinsky. Nijinsky, a Polish ballerina, considered the greatest male dancer of the early 20th century. He is known for his skill and seemingly gravity-free jumping ability. Nijinsky was accepted at the age of 9 by the Imperial Ballet School in St. Petersburg, now known as the Mariinsky Ballet. In 1912, he joined Diaghilev Ballet Company and began to star ballets including Le Pré Midi d'une Faune, 1912, The Rite of Spring, Le Sacre du Printemps, 1913, which is composed by Igor Stravinsky and choreographed by Fokine. It is considered to be one of the earliest modern ballets and has caused controversy because of its sexual meaning in the final scene. Nijinsky later tried to establish his own dance company but failed. During World War I, he was arrested in Budapest, Hungary until 1916. Nijinsky became increasingly unstable in terms of stress, and after a trip to South America in 1917, his family settled in Maritz, Switzerland. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 1919. For the next 30 years, he never danced in public again. The second is Leonid Fedorovich Masin. Masin was born in Moscow on August 9, 1895. In his early years, he studied at the Bolshoi Theatre School in Moscow, where he graduated at the age of 17 as an actor. In 1913, he moved to Paris to join the Ballet Russes, where he studied with the Italian master Enrico Cicchetti, and in the same year he played a role in Mikhail Fokhin's The Legend of Joseph. In 1915, he wrote his first work Le Soleil de Nuit for the ballet company, and then rose to artistic director. He became another male star after Vaslav Nijinsky. Later works included Parade, 1917, and Pulcinella, 1920. The landmarks were Jean Cocteau's The Rite of Spring, 1920, and The Three-Corner Ed Hat, 1919. After the death of Diaghilev, Masin devoted himself to the creation of symphony ballet. Symphonic ballet refers to the embodiment of the music in a movement. To completing a choreography of the dance through the emotions expressed by music and the imagination generated by audiences hearing the music, creator used the rhythm of the symphonic works make the visual content. In 1939 to 1944, Masin moved to the United States. He choreographed for the American Ballet Theatre, APT, and several European ballet companies. Masin also directed two ballet films by British directors Michael Powell and Emmerich Presburg, The Red Shoes, 1948, and The Tales of Hoffmann, 1951. Later, he performed in Powell's Luna de Miel, 1959. He also starred in several ballet short film by Warner Brothers for the Monte Carlo Russian Ballet, including the 1941 Happy Parisians, The Gay Paris, and 1942's Spanish Festivals, renamed the Spanish Holiday, which based on Capriccio Español. In 1947, he also choreographed the film Carosello Napolitano for 20th Century Fox. In Carnival in Costa Rica, he played a role as a clown. In 1971, Masin came to Australia, where he choreographed Mamselle Angot for the Australian Ballet. He died on March 15, 1979, in Cologne, Germany. Finally, let's summarize. 1899, the world of art provided an important place for Russian art, arts and crafts, new art books, concerts and ballet reviews over the 5 years. 1909 May 18, Paris Chatterley Theatre, Ballet Russes performing season. Works included Fokhin's The Fairies, Les Sulfids, The Dance of Boro-Renzi, Almeida's Villa, Creopatla Egypt Night, King Igor, 1910 June 4th, Ballets Russes performing season 2 begins. Performance, Carnival. The premiere of Firebird, June 25, 1910 Paris Opera based on Russian folklore. Choreographer, Fokhin. Main actor, Karl Sabina. Composer, Stravinsky Petrushka. Choreographer, Fokhin. Composer, Stravinsky. Actor, Nijinsky. Enrico Cicchetti. Well-known choreographer, Fokhin, Nijinsky, Masin, George Balanchine. Educator, Chetati Lambert. Enrico Cicchetti. Actor, Anna Pavlova. Lafar, Karl, Sabina, Rudolf Nureyev. Fokhin, the pioneer of modern ballet, is also a very hard-working choreographer. In the next video would take us to the beginning of modern ballet to talk about Mikhail Fokhin's artistic life. Thanks for your compliments and positive comments. We have received a lot of message from our audiences. We will get feedback to you soon. Welcome to tell us your questions during the study of dance. There are any ideas, welcome email us as well. I leave the contact in the description area. We will see you next time.